Hey, what up, YouTube? This your boy Rubber Band Trades, and I'm back again with another trade recap for April 15th, 2026. Alright, y'all. So, coming off the losing day we had yesterday, coming into today, we wanted to take an A plus setup, and we also did not want to overstay our welcome in any trade. So, we wanted to secure profits in any trade we were taking, and you know what I'm saying, we wanted to make sure it was an A plus setup. So coming into this morning's price action, I noticed that we were consolidating a lot. It looks like in overnight sessions we got Asia consolidation, London consolidation. You got London lows taken, Asia highs taken. So off rip, I was expecting a chop day, simply because we were in this range. However, I did have a scenario on if we broke to the top side of this range, we could get some bullish price action up into a 4 hour high that I had marked out on my chart. So right now, I'm just pretty much waiting to see what type of price action we're going to get on the day. So this is about 10 minutes into the open. We're kind of getting some bullish price action. Not quite enough for me to just go ahead and enter long just yet. So right here, when we got to the top of the overnight range, we started getting some bears coming to pile in right here. So this would have been a good scalp right here. When I was watching this, I was like, this looks like a pretty decent scalp. I'm not a scalper, but if one day I do decide to become a scalper, I already know what I'm gonna be looking for. So I'll just keep that in mind. But yeah. So again, we're looking at the 5 minute chart. We're getting a little push down. That was to the daily open, through previous day high. However, we are bouncing right at the daily open, bouncing at the 15 minute ORG, getting the bounce at previous day high. So again, I'm bullish on today. I was coming in expecting to take longs today. So when we eventually did get some displacement, it pretty much gave us a nice little setup to move higher. So right here again, I'm just waiting because we're back in this range. We Now I'm over here looking at the daily chart, just looking at a spy on the daily. So yeah, man, we're still in this range, looking for a push up out of this range with some displacement at that, so we would feel comfortable getting long. Um, yeah, so this like I said, man, when the market is running the way it's been running, you definitely don't want to get inside or get in front of that freight train, like kind of like how I did yesterday with those shorts I attempted. So the best bet today was to go long, and I'm glad I stuck with that plan. So right here, we're still kind of trading inside the range. NQ peeked his head a little bit above it, but couldn't quite get that close just yet. The 15 minute is showing a potential market structure shift. Right there above that seven, it was like a 715 high. Yeah, so right here we're just waiting to see if we get that displacement of outside of this range. So right here on the 1 minute, we're getting a little push. Um, we finally got a candle close outside of that overnight range, and right along in here, we're getting a little retest off the 10 a.m. open. So off the 10 a.m. open, I'm looking at the 4 hour because I'm thinking, hey, this could be the start of a 4 hour push. So I actually entered on the 4 hour. When I entered this trade, I was looking at the 4 hour and I was expecting, okay, we can get a push from this 10 a.m. open on this new 4 hour candle, and we started getting some nice momentum up out of there. Um, and then we boom started getting this pullback. So this is where I entered into my other accounts. I entered long 5 contracts. My target was the 4 hour high I had up here at 26,240. I had my stop below the top of that range, and it held up pretty well right here. On one of my accounts, I did get stopped out. You know what I'm saying? My stop loss placement was a little off on that one. However, we still stuck with the trading idea again. So there I'm adjusting my maximum trades on the day, so I make sure I'm able to at least take these trades that are stopping me out, because I had my trade limit at 3. I needed to move that to 10. So again, right here, we are expecting the top of this range to hold up. That's why we're still holding these longs with the stop loss slightly below that overnight range. And right now we're just waiting for momentum to come in. Again, bulls have been dominating the last week and a half, so we were fully expecting them to continue to push us higher here. So there we go. We're getting a nice little push higher. And about this time, I just started trailing my stop loss. This is where I also started to elect to take a little bit of these contracts off around this level. So I had 2 contracts to go off at 26,110. To me, that just felt like a decent level just to get some contracts off. Simply because it being, a whole number level. They say human psychology loves fives, tens. Um, so I had 2 contracts to go off right there. But as you can see, I did end up getting stopped out on that entry. However, I did re-enter again. I am fairly confident that the bulls wanted to come in today, so I re-entered this trade with 5 contracts. Then I put again two contracts to come off right at 26,110, and boom, we got 2 contracts to come off at 26,110. And then we started getting this nice displacement up. So once we started getting this displacement up into 120, I started taking off more contracts. And right now, my plan is just to trail my stop, see if I can trim any more contracts up at key levels, and just play the trade from there, guys. And I'm pretty happy with my execution today. I think even given the state of the market, I've been able to find a nice draw. I've been able to remain patient, and I haven't been too greedy to where I'm not taking contracts off along the way. So, again, I'm pretty proud of myself at this point. And once I had made these profits on the day, I was pretty much done for the day. So, again, guys, if you like the video, like the video. If you like the knowledge you're getting, please hit subscribe. And, we'll be back at you with another trade recap later on in the week. I appreciate y'all. Peace.